The Pumpkin Tale. Long ago, Joseph lets his wife know that he'll be going away to make a fortune, as local work was scarce. After a weary journey searching for work, he arrives at a farm and requests to speak with the landlord. Hello, I'm looking for work, Joseph said when the landlord presented himself. The situation is pretty bad, but we'll make an exception and provide food and shelter in exchange for your work, replied the landlord. Once you decide to depart, I can reevaluate and might be able to make some sort of payment, the landlord continued, trying to aid the discussion. I accept. Very generous offer, said Joseph, displaying a grateful expression. "20 years went by, and Joseph, longing for home and wife, made the decision to return. Upon requesting a conversation with the landlord once more, the latter attends. It's somewhat bittersweet, but it's been a long time, and I've made the decision to return home. I've served you the best way I could," commented Joseph. "I'm pleased with the work you've put in, Joseph. I put myself in your place, and most likely would make a similar decision," replied the landlord. "Things are a bit better than when you arrived, and can provide some monetary compensation for your time and effort. But if you like, I'll trade you the 20 years of work for 3 pieces of advice," the landlord expanded. "But my lord, how could that be? What sort of counsel are you referring to that could be worth that much?" said Joseph, somewhat surprised with the offer. "Don't decide now. Sleep on it, and see me tomorrow before you depart," concluded the landlord. The next morning, intrigued, Joseph came to the landlord and said, "I've observed the way you proceeded during my tenure here, and you've always been a very fair person. Although not completely convinced, I estimate that your advice must be extremely valuable. I will go ahead and accept your offer. Please enlighten me, and I shall be on my way." Very well, Joseph, replied the landlord. The first advice I give you is to not ever take shortcuts. The second is to mind your own business. And the third and final is to never be driven by the first impulse. But my lord, this is common sense. How could you possibly conceive that such advice be worth 20 years of hard work? Commented Joseph with an alarmed tone of voice. I understand you've heard this before, but have you applied them and allowed this to guide your life? Asked the landlord with a facial expression that conveyed wisdom. I'm not certain I've made the right choice, but a deal is a deal, and my word counts, replied Joseph firmly, but with a low level of motivation. Goodbye. I shall be on my way. Joseph, I know how you feel, but trust me, apply the advice and it'll serve you well, alleged the landlord. I know it may seem like an insult, he added, but please, take this pumpkin and enjoy it with your wife upon arrival. Farewell, Joseph, concluded the landlord with a handshake gesture. Joseph commences his journey back home and joins a group of travelers. After having covered a significant walking distance, someone in the group posted the idea of traversing the forest to save several hours and arrive at the nearest town earlier. Fellows, you go ahead, and I will meet you later, replied Joseph, recalling the first advice the landlord had provided and attempting to apply it, given the high cost it paid. Upon arrival at the town much later, Joseph sees that the group that took the shortcut had been assaulted and robbed. Joseph begins to recognize the significance of the information the landlord had provided. While ruminating on the thought, he hears the screams of a man that was being beaten nearby. Joseph runs and tries to intervene in efforts to aid the victim, but remembers the second advice and decides to inquire the reason for such actions from a bystander. Friend, why is that man being beaten and no one tries to help? Asks Joseph. No one helps because it is death itself the one that's being beaten, replied the bystander. My God, I would have saved death, says Joseph, thinking to himself, and continues to comprehend the importance of applying the advice he had been given. A couple of weeks later, Joseph finally approaches home and perceives at a distance that his wife is sitting on a man's lap on the porch. Doubting his eyes, Joseph gets closer, but undeniably confirms that it is his wife and proceeds to unravel his knife and move towards the man in rage. "No, Joseph," screams his wife as he approaches. "This is your son. I was expecting when you left, and there was no chance to tell you," she continues to explain. "Oh Lord, oh Lord, I would have killed my own son," exclaims Joseph, now fully comprehending the landlord's message. Joseph proceeds to tell his wife and son the story behind his journey and how his life took a completely different path as a result of applying what he had learned. As they get ready to prepare supper, Joseph pulls the pumpkin out of his bag, and when he cuts it in half, 20 gold coins fall on the table. The pumpkin tale. Simple, wise advice that will change your life. Apply it, and you'll be surprised with the improvement. For expanded material on the tale, reference the Lean Me Personal Operating System ebook in the Amazon Kindle store.